Guys, really, I am asking the question, has Uptober been cancelled? We were feeling so bullish a couple of weeks ago. Things were looking so good, but it feels like every day we turn on these Banter bubbles, we're getting some red these days. Look at AVAX -5, Renders -4. There's a lot of pain out there. RUNE is -8, getting to a nice zone just now. Guys, we got so much to go through. We had CPI numbers came in a little bit hot. The 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓 reacted, it blew up. Yeah, it started affecting all sorts of things here. I'm teeing up a couple of things on my Prime XBT stuff. I've got a potential dollar short now with the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 rejection. I've got a NVIDIA potential short building on the US markets. Then we're looking at altcoins. We're looking at ETH sitting on a major level. We're looking at BNB sitting on a major level. We got THETA on a major area. If we're going to lose these levels, guys, we're looking at a whole new ball game for these altcoins. So we are at a massive area now in the market in general. So let's dive right in here and take a look at BTC and just see what's happening. We see BTC, guys, this 4 hour, it's just hanging around. We had so much talking to us yesterday about this middle zone here. We had this 50-day MA. We had the Lux Algo order block. I've even pulled in a trend for you guys from the top here, showing this level here. This is now becoming quite a big area for BTC. If we dip lower, guys, remember, we are watching this 618 as the next zone, this 26,300. Right now, we want to see how things react here at this area. We're going to keep our eyes on dominance. And obviously, we're hoping, well, the bulls are hoping for a BTC push higher, and that should lift things like BNB, ETH, and the others I'm going to talk about off these areas. Guys, we also have some updates on some trades yesterday. That CAS trade went excellently. So thanks to 𝗕𝗫𝗕𝗕𝗕𝗕 who woke me up in the middle of the night to tell me to long CAS. That was awesome. Thank you so much. We had a 9 or 10% move. Then we hit targets on TRB. I see wild pumped, but it came out a little bit short. So Bruce and Dave are here. They're also going to update you on these type of things. There might be a wild long brewing now after a massive sell-off. So we might have something happening here for WLD shortly. So we're going to keep you posted on that. Let's just take a quick look at the S&P. Well, let's jump into the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕𝗕 first, just so we can see this reaction to the CPI news. This thing absolutely pumped. And now we're at this critical zone here. We are looking for this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕𝗕 rejection now in this region. We broke trend. Things were looking very positive for the markets. We are now bouncing on support. It's totally fine to bounce on support, but we don't want to bounce too high. We want to reject here because we want this momentum to continue. So right now we are eyeing this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕𝗕 rejection here. This is the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕 4 hour. I want to see it reject just to unleash a little bit more for us, maybe give Bitcoin a bit of a push. Let's take a look at a corresponding trade that I'm looking at here. There's a potential short on the dollar versus the ZAR, which is a currency in South Africa. I was looking for this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕𝗕𝗕 rejection here, and then a possible rejection in this area for the dollar-ZAR pairing. So if we do get this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕𝗕𝗕 rejection, as you can see over here, we should tie it in nicely to this rejection over here at trend 618 and 50 days. So that's something to keep your eyes on today, guys. Remember, Prime XBT is in the link. There's a 7% sign up bonus. If you sign up there on Prime XBT, you can trade CFDs, Forex, indices, and well, I trade gold, oil, all those type of things on there. So check it out. Right, let's take a look at ETH. This is the first major level altcoin that I'm watching, and this really is a big moment as far as ETH is concerned, and basically alt's positioning in the market currently. These things have all just bled out slowly. If you guys saw into the cryptoverse, he posted a tweet the other day showing BTC a few months ago when it was at 26 versus now, and it's obviously BTC at 26, and ETH is just dropping, and you can see now it's on its last legs here before we start looking at the next level. So this is the ETH 12 hour that I've been watching. This is a major area now. We really want to see this reversal at this level, this 1552. If we do go lower, guys, I'm going to just zoom out for you and just to give you a better view here. We've got a large 618 horizontal and trend sitting down here at 1480. So this is my first sort of major stop for ETH if we drop this level now. So we really don't want to see this for altcoin's sake. We don't want ETH to start burning down now. We want it to reverse, but if it does, we need to be prepared. And the next major zone for me where I'm looking for a bounce on ETH is this 1485. Let's take a look at BNB. This has been a massive talking point for a very long time. It's probably the most shorted token in the market. This is the BNB 8-hour chart. We are once again, guys, we are sitting at this major level over here. And is this the end for BNB? Because next stop on BNB, guys, is this 183. So bulls, you are looking for this little move that we got here. Now we got that little double bottom. Is BTC going to hold? Is dominance going to listen to us? If so, then we're going to catch this ride up on BNB right here, and we're going to take it up about 8%. And, you know, these alts might live to see another day. So let's see how this reacts. We've seen a lot of alts doing this exact same thing that BNB is doing. THETA is one of them. We've had things on levels like Optimism. We've got Atom. We've got AVAX, all these type of things on these areas. Let's take a look at THETA, the next one on the hit list. For altcoins, again, this is a major area. We don't really want to lose this level. Worst case for THETA, what I want to see is a little wick down at worst to this low here at 0.566. But we don't want to do much more than that, because if we do lose that area, I suspect we're going to be visiting this 0.40 level. And look, it might be a lot of pain to get there, but it is my next big area for THETA. So remember, guys, this was a potential long for us with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as well. And here we are. We're still sitting in an order block. There's still a couple of reasons to be long here. It's major support. So we just want BTC to behave nicely, and we should start getting this little push up. So there were a few reasons why we should get this this turn on THETA. You can see here the clouds are in play here on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. We've got our second X. So things are slowly moving here. So eyes on THETA, guys. I think if we do get that move, THETA will start pushing for us. Okay, so before we go, let's go into this CAS trade, and then I'm going to get the guys in. So CAS, guys, I exited CAS at this 382. This was my exit level that I was looking for. We had a long off a 618 and this trend. Just a beautiful play. I think they gave us about 9 or 10% here on CAS. Oh, that's the wrong way, but 9 or 10% move they gave us, and yeah, what a lovely trade. And then we also hit a couple of others, and I'm going to get Bruce and Dave in. Let's get the guys in here right now. And then I've also got this track that I promised you yesterday that one of our fans made for us. Let me get Dave in here. Dave, welcome.
What's up, guys?
Bruce, what's
Good
happening?
morning.
Guys, quite a successful day yesterday.
Yeah.
As far as trades went, even though some of these alts melted down, I got stopped on Solana, unfortunately, but made up for it on CAS. And we had a nice WLD move in that TRB, Bruce. That was amazing.
Yep.
I'm just
They went
switching,
really well. I'm going to remind everybody that on YouTube, you can set your settings from auto to 1080p, and everything will be a lot clearer. For some reason, they default on that.
Yes, so an update for you guys there in the chats as well. The software we use streams in 1080 resolution. The software that runs streams in is, I think it was 4K. So we are moving software at some point. Yeah. But you know, right now we are pushing only 1080. Okay, cool. Let's see who's in the crowd here today as well. Delinquent Gaming is in the crowd. Okay, cool. What's happening? Brahim's here. Wild Salamanca, what's happening? Shub says, why is FXS pumping? Okay, guys, so what I promised yesterday, I had this track that one of our fans made for us. I want you guys to hear it quickly. Let's give it a rating. I think it's excellent. Let me turn off this current backing track. And Bruce, I don't think Bruce has heard this one, and Bruce is a rocker, so he's potentially going to like this. So let's give this one a go quickly.
Let's go.
This was made by a fan for the Bull Run song for the live. This was made by Thomas. So Thomas, shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much. You very glad you know that's cool. I feel the whole. Oh, we're gonna love this. There we go. There's an actual guitarist in the house here. Bruce, you loving this, though? This is right up your alley.
Oh, yeah.
shout out to Thomas. So thank you so much for making that for us. Super stoked with that. Okay,
I love that.
guys. Bruce, I like you with a guitar. Looking quite good. But yeah, shot Thomas. Let's get some of the beats back here in the background, and let's crack on with what we all get to do. Guys, let me pull up some more charts. Let's talk about this wild, because I think we all have an opinion here on wild, where we might get a potential long. Look at the sad state of affairs. So yesterday it was actually a beautiful trade, wasn't it? We had the break, broke the trend. We were looking for this consolidation. We had that dump, 618 trend reaction, trend bounce, beautiful move here. 5.5 didn't hit our first target, which was actually higher for me, 1.67, and a little round trip all the way back, and then some. So guys, remember, this is actually a very important note. If your trades start taking off, okay, and you stepping away and you're not actively watching it, lift your stops to your entry, okay, so you don't have to deal with this type of thing if it falls over and you out to dinner somewhere or doing whatever. Because these type of altcoins that we trade, some of these are volatile. You're going to see Loom as well, volatile. TRB as well. You can get whipped around very quickly. So, play the setups. But the minute your trade turns green, just maybe just lift your risk a little bit there, and protect yourself. So, guys, Dave, you're saying this is in a good zone, eh? It's in our sniper zone.
It is in the sniper zone. I can share my screen and show you what I'm seeing.
Yeah, give me your screen here. Okay, so guys, there's a potential long now after this massive WLD sell-off. There's a potential long brewing here.
Yeah. So you can see it's landed in the 618 sniper zone. We've got the moving average right here. We have an order block sitting right here. So it's either a long right here or it's a long right here, I think.
What is that area down there is that the 50-day?
Yeah, the 50-day. Yeah, so like 140. We could even start a position now so we don't miss it, but then maybe add some more down here. I think would be the safe play for WLD. But that's my thing. This is where I'm drawing it from, guys. From the bottom to the top. And you can see how it's reaction. Try to reach it, reaction. This is just the level of confluence here. So
yeah, it's a big area. I don't know why, or I don't like the look of this mega sell-off. Doesn't bring me much comfort. With a massive, if you pull that trend on the 4 hour, if you pull that trend from like 28 September to down here, I mean, it was a massive fake out and rejection. But yeah, right here where it is now, there is some support brewing. I think, guys, just keep it on your watch list. You might get a reversal here.
Yeah, and if we get the reversal, I think, if we draw it from this, what this other sniper zone is, from the top here to the very bottom here, it also lines up with this sell block here. So ideally, I'd like to see a move to touch that, or if we're going to come down here. Obviously, there might be some bounces along the way, but that's kind of what I'm seeing.
Okay, cool. Guys, eyes on WLD, big sell-off. Keep your eyes on it. Maybe zoom in a little bit. Look for an opportunity there. Let's tackle the next one on the list, Bruce. TRB.
Sure.
This was beautiful, eh? Bruce. Yeah, Bruce, you nailed this yesterday. How was this? Let me pull up your screen here. How was this rejection at the 618?
Well, I got really lucky because the entrance was, let me zoom in just a bit. The entrance was priceless.
Can I just say Maruk Hamid? She says, other than the cow moaning.
So this was weird. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, this entrance was just perfect. I got it right up right when we talked about it right there. It took about until 1 o'clock to get it right in my time. So that was about 5 hours after we talked about the entrance price came down right to the entry point, took it, and then last night I was about to go to bed, and I said, wow, this seems like it's not going anywhere. I'm going to go to the 15 minutes. You can see what my thinking was. It was rejecting here. I said, you know something? I'm going to stick a TP in there just in case. So I stuck it at that level right before bed. And then all of a sudden, not long after, my alarms went off and I turned the computer on and it had spiked. I had gotten the TP hit. And then minutes later, it did this, which is crazy. That's exactly what Dylan was talking about a couple minutes ago, is in this market, take your profit, get out of Dodge, because these kind of reactions are common these days.
I mean, how many round trips do we do? You know, it's
as many as at once.
It's kind of the theme.
Yeah, exactly. So that went really well. We were also in the other one that Eric got into the TOMO trade, which means Eric has got a great deal of patience because this trade didn't pan out. So we talked about the TOMO setup here. See where it's circled right there? That's what we started talking about. And this is to me my favorite way of trading, is you just be patient. Wait. The first setup didn't happen until 5 in the afternoon my time. So that would have been 9. That would have been almost 10 hours after the show, right? Patiently waiting for it to come up here. That was entrance 1. It rejected off the trend line that we were indicating. Came back and tested again. That was where I entered right there. Came over, retested one more time, and now it's well into profit. Stop is below break even. We're in good shape. Now we just get to ride that thing down.
Are you hanging on?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna probably take some off the table about halfway down at about 1.42, and then I'll ride the rest of it down probably to, I think, right to here. Hang on, just that. I think my final TP will be 1.3904.
Nice. Guys, let us know in the chats who took the TOMO long, who took
WLD.
Eric
did. I got a couple of people, yeah.
Who took CAS? What else did we do yesterday? TRB.
TRB was good.
Guys, look at this TRB rejection, and just I see Simon's here as well. Simon, we're going to
crazy, yeah.
I mean, it's just, again, the 618, guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you want to do your TPs, you can preset, just front run these areas. Look how perfect this rejection was off the 618.
Yeah.
And watching the live, what happens? Like, it goes up and it pings you down immediately, and you might not even have time. So sometimes you want to preset some cells.
I think that was the lesson for me, right? I got very lucky that I preset the TP, because I always do that before I go to bed because I don't like stressing. And that got me very, very lucky there. Notice that it broke under support dramatically right here. You got a different one open. Okay.
Yeah, it's not looking good now. It's rejecting.
Yeah, it rejected again. It's retesting resistance, and it's rejecting again on the 15-minute. You can see clearly.
So this one looks like it's now on its way down.
Yeah,
you guys, you can see quite nicely here. Old support. So this was 618. It gave us great support here. We've lost it. This is, I mean, you guys know I love this setup. Lost support, retest, old support as resistance, and then you start bringing it down. Okay, so, and then you look for some horizontal levels and things like that as your target zone. And so TRB is potentially now in the dark zone, going down.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to go down to about the 786, which is about where horizontal support is.
Guys, remember, let us know in the chats after the show what tokens you want me to look at. I think only one person dropped a comment after the show. We can only see it afterward in the YouTube. Then I can go through and look. And there was a request for Ocean. So I'm going to do Ocean. But remember, when the show's done, drop the tokens you want. Then I can prepare them, and we can all prepare them before we go on for you. Yeah. Okay, let's start going through a couple others here. What have I got here? GALA. So GALA was quite nice. And this is what the type of effect we were looking for on things like BNB. We want to see that little flush out, that little stop hunt. Look at this nice level. So you see, guys, THETA looks like this, ETH looks like this, BNB looks like this. And we want this little flush out there just to grab some stops and then push up. So GALA is well on its way now. Again, look what it's done. It's broken up, rejected at resistance, retested, trend, horizontal, and now it's pushing up again, guys. So we might have something here on the table for for GALA, it's shown a lot of energy. I see in the comments you guys were saying 𝗕𝗵𝘁 as well is moving, so we'll take a look at that too, but maybe something going on with gaming. Bruce, Dave, have you seen PYR perhaps, or Nakamoto? If there's any action there, let us know.
Okay, a lot of people asking about RUNE also.
RUNE, yeah, RUNE, guys.
Yeah.
RUNE is ruined, but it might not be for long. Are these dad jokes? Are we making dad jokes, Bruce?
That was pretty out there, yeah.
Okay, so RUNE, guys, this is on my watch list. I've been watching it all day long, waiting for it to drift down lower. There's an alarm ready for you guys on the Banter Discord, ready for you. It's going to ping you. Yeah, look, when you get sell-offs like this, we know there was bearish news on RUNE. Nick in the chats told us on Friday, guys, remember we're a team. Just tell us in the chats what's going on so we can deal with these things. So Nick wasn't kind enough to let us know there was FUD on RUNE. It lost the trend. It started heading down. And here we go. So we might get some kind of bounce, a recovery bounce at best, perhaps, if this FUD continues. But potentially we could get something like this on RUNE before it rejects again. So this is something I'm watching. Guys, get on the Banter VIP if you want the alarms. Otherwise, just set your own alarm, 1.43 on TradingView, and you can see this is a big area of interest for us. Lots of horizontal support. We've got a 618 sitting over here. If we lose this area, it looks a little bit messy going down. So I would say some kind of reaction bounce coming here on RUNE. So Javier, thank you for that. Yeah, definitely on our watch list. Bruce, you're going to prep UNFI. I see Pedro wants UNFI.
And I got Render.
One of you has Render. Yeah, okay. So FedEx. Bruce is coming in hot with Render and UNFI for you. OP, I've got an OP in front of me. Last chance saloon, guys. This is it for OP before we start looking at new areas. Look at this. 1.1. Wow. That's my next area. I've set the alarm for you guys on the Banter Hub. 1.1 is the target of this move if it loses this area. Right now, this is the final moment here for OP. If we start losing this, guys, we're looking at that. Okay, we've just seen that. What was that token we just looked at? TRB. So you lose the support, push up into resistance, potential short lower, and it's a nice little move, actually. It's, what do we got here? 7%. So 7% move, potential bounce 1.1 is what we want to look for. Yeah. No problem, Javier. FXS pumps. Brett says FXS pumps. Okay. Bruce, do you want to do Render and UNFI? I'm going to get FXS ready.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. I'll start working. Yeah. Let me pull up your chart there. Okay.
So I'm going to compare UNFI to WildCoin. Yeah, I know it's called World something coin, but we call it WildCoin around here. Took a big dump off in the range. And it's really at a decision point whether it's going to stay in the range and pump from here, which is definitely a possibility. So I would definitely track the trend right over here and see whether it starts developing support and holding it, but it's right at the bottom. So my wild guess, honestly, is that it's probably or likely to lose support there, which means it's got a big dump off. Because if you go to the higher time frame, you will notice that there is nothing. Hold on, get rid of my pencil there. Sorry. That there's very little support between where it is in this range right here and down to the next level. So we're looking at a drop of somewhere between 17 to 23%. And the reason I'm erring on the 24% is that's where the 200-day moving average is. You'll always notice that right now it's an order block, but literally there is nothing down here to really give it a lot of support. So if it loses this, and I'm going to show you the setup in 1 second, I'll look for a pretty decent drop. What I'm looking at is actually, because it's very similar to Wild, which did exactly the same thing, except Wildcoin pretty much has lost support right there, right? It's broken under this area. It could recover and come back up, but I think Dave's expectation of it coming down to the 50-day moving average. That support area is also really valid. Also, there's a big order block down there, which would cause reaction. But what I wanted to point out was if you zoom in a little bit from the 4-hour to the 15-minute, look what it did, right? Price dropped under support right here, and then it retested it before continuing to drop. So this right here was a potentially really good setup for a short if you wait to watch it. So if you look at it at the 1 hour, you'd never see it because it looks like it just dropped straight through. So sometimes when something's losing support, if you just simply zoom in a little bit, you can see that it'll do that little retracement and enter potential line. I'm not saying it's going to go down, but that was a very pretty setup for taking a short right there. Break, retest, short. And I think if UNFI decides it's going to go south, that you want to definitely watch for that exact same setup. Let it drop down a little bit more, let it come back up and retest the trend line or support over there, and you can enter a short from there. On the other hand, if it does find support over here, you'd expect it to consolidate a little bit. Given the volatility of the market right now, I'd wait for it to break, retest, and then take a long from there. So choice A is under, up, take a short. In this case, consolidate, break through, retest, and then long. Those are your two options right now.
Nice, Bruce.
Nice one.
Okay, you ready for FXS? FXS.
Yep.
So we've looked at this before for you guys. We had this this falling wedge, massive breakout, smashed the 50-day MA. Look at that, beautifully through that resistance, smashed it, smashed the 618. Okay, nice rejection, 786. You were asking, is this a time to short? Yeah, I think that horse is bolted for now because you need to use that high as your potential stop. So it's a 3.2% move from where it is now to the high potentially. That's a risk area if you want to open a short there. Otherwise, you want to look for some consolidation here under the 618 now. You want to see how things go because ideally, if you're going to push this down to something like the 50-day MA, for example, you want a very tight stop here. So you need to maybe just dial in a little bit more and look for where it's reacting. But I think the best short opportunity was here, this reaction of the 786. Now you need to see what happens in this region before you get involved there. Lead is shorting from 5.89. Nice, bro. Good work.
Nice.
Cool.
Riding it up and down.
I've got perp here, guys. If anyone wants perp, I'm also taking notes on what else you guys want here in the chats. T we've got for you as well. So perp, I know sometimes it comes up in the chat, so I just preempted this earlier. Resistance now, trend, 382. So something to watch. Bulls, you know what the story is here. We just want to break higher, get that support going. Here's this horizontal. You want to reclaim this horizontal. Okay, so get that on your watch list. Bears, this is your resistance zone. This is where you are looking for entries for shorts. Okay, so it's actually a nice area now for decision making, I would say. Targets for longs, you're looking at 200-day, 50-day MA, and horizontal. That's your first region. So that's 0.59. That's your first reaction area. And then higher up, you've got 0.66. And then it's a long way down, guys. Jeez, look at these candles, Bruce. Dave, look at this.
Wow.
Look at this here. Whoa. Okay, so that's
Ridiculous.
A long way down. Okay, so if you catch that short, that could be fun. It's 15% before it bounces. I mean, that's pretty heavy. So yeah, it's turning red now. I think so short. But this is resistance, guys. So this could be a nice one. Bruce, we ready for your render, by the way?
Yeah.
I think I cut you off there. Give us
And I've got a loom after that. Pendle.
Okay, render and loom. Geez, we got a lot of tokens for you guys.
Yeah. So yesterday we did render. We were wondering whether it was going to break, retest, and take a long from there. we were looking at that trend line. Clearly, it's broken through it on the far. It hasn't closed yet, but it's pretty definitive. So it looks right now that we're in this range right there. So what we have to do is like we were doing with TOMO the other day. We have to wait. So either it's going to come down and reject off of support right over here. It would be my best guess for what's going to come next. And it might do this for a little while. You see, basically short from here, long from there, short from here. I mean, you can usually see it. The question we had is it going to keep on respecting the trend line or respect the range? We have our answer now. It's going to be in the range, and the trend line is pretty much invalid from what I can see. Don't see any. Yeah, then there's an order block exactly above and below it. You can see that. So that basically validates that there's a lot of long sitting over there and a short sitting here, which means it'll bounce back and forth until one of them dominate. Now there's a short will dominate, it'll push down, the longs will dominate, and it'll push up. Until then, it'll probably range. So you're talking about a talking about 7-8% range. So you can make a lot of money just going back and forth if it continues doing this. So keep an eye on this. We'll put an alert down in this area right over here to let you know when this thing starts to get close to our zone. But once it gets down into the 1.68 area, 1.685 area, that's when you start paying attention to it.
Beth is short render.
Yeah, good.
Nice,
Cool.
Beth.
Yeah,
Guys,
great.
there's people asking, like, are they rashing me for something called Big Time? And I see it was listed on Mexi. Like, I don't know why. They're rashing me on Twitter about it too. And I see they're rashing us in the chats.
Big Time?
Guys,
Big time.
something called Big Time. Listen, guys, this is nothing you want to be buying here. So just be cautious. I'm just talking about it because people are asking about it. I have no idea what this thing is, but it looks like it's launched today. So just be extra careful. I would not buy something that looks like that on day one. I'd rather just let it chill a little bit. Shab says Coinbase listed Big Time. Okay, well, it's a game apparently. Okay, so guys, look, we like things we can actually chart a bit more. I got one candle there, guys. It's launched yesterday. NFT game since 2021. Okay, so that might have something to do with gaming time. Okay,
it's probably the sort of thing that I'd take.
Would you long it?
I wouldn't long it now, no way. But I would have been on this right from the start. This is the sort of thing that I jump in on. Don't trade this on day one. You're going to get wrecked.
Guys, both ways. Day one, you're just asking for trouble. It's like if you think we're playing a guessing game with the tools we use already, you're trying this on day one with one candle. Well, you really asking for trouble there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see update. It's holding. Guys, I did promise you a couple of things. Simon, you've got a limited amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to give us AVAX and Atom rundown?
I was going to give Adam, but I've got AVAX and Curve. I don't know if you've done Curve yet today.
Yeah, give us AVAX and Curve, please.
Shall I present?
Yes, you shall.
All right, coming up.
Okay, guys, this is the Lux Algo stuff we like to use.
Okay, let's do AVAX first. So apologies in advance if there's screaming that enters the room. I'm on duty for everyone at the minute. So AVAX. So at the minute, we have a nice short that's playing out. Okay, obviously we're riding this red trend line down. We're on the 4-hourly at the minute, so there's a reasonable amount of candles here. We had our first TP signal, this X, guys. And then down on the oscillator, we have got a beautifully low RSI sitting at 11. So what traditionally happens when we get down to 11, let's not do that. What traditionally happens is we get some sort of bounce. So obviously at this point, I'm expecting maybe something like this before we get our launch. And then hopefully that will coincide with bouncing off this green normal price action sort of reversal zone. So what I'm anticipating is we've come off this cloud, we've price actioned up, we've eventually come in, we've hugely wicked up, we've bounced off, we've come back down, now we're at the lower cloud. I guess some sort of reaction here with the cross, and then our launch up again. So there will be a long coming pretty soon.
Nice work on cash yesterday as well, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
No, we made some good money. That trend line absolutely stuck, didn't it? Where are we, Cass? So I actually left it on. There's the trend line from yesterday. I mean, we got pretty close. I am still in it, yeah, but I'm not in the same headspace as you are with Cass. I'm going to hold on to this until the cows come home.
I just TP'd mine. You know, guys, I've got 2 cash trades right out of
That's awesome.
5, I think. So I got whacked, I got smashed around by Cass a lot. I was hating it, but now I got 2 right in a row, and I was going to TP and make sure I kept that thing.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I
think Cass. There's big things to come with Cass. So anyway, my AVEX trade, as I say, I think we've got some sort of long coming here. Does that tie in with what you were looking at, Dill? There's obviously
I mean, AVEX is dropping into a big area, guys. Like I was saying with ETH, BNB, it's across the board on some of these alts. Like, it's really like, I know we use the word critical level like a lot, but this really is like, these are big areas, you know. And sometimes you get areas like this where there's complete capitulation now after that. So you get it sitting here for days, and then you just get this mega dump onto the next areas. So just be aware, you know, we close to the bottom on RSIs, we close to the bottom on a lot of things, but it doesn't automatically mean that we turn up here. It could mean there's one more event coming where they flush you properly. So just be prepared for that. You know, look at these charts that we're doing for you. Look at your next level. So if you're looking at ETH on a level, look at the next level. Maybe you want to have a few sneaky buys in there in case it happens in the middle of the night or something, where you get that capitulation and that big bounce. Look at things like AVAX. Look at the levels I gave you for Injective. Look at Solana at 20.5. Look at those type of things. We might get that if we have that little wick. We've been around long enough to know that they like to surprise you with this type of thing.
Yeah, we have. We're sitting in some order blocks right now. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of order blocks around for this taken, eh? Look at that.
Look, there's a lot of reasons saying, you know, these things should technically turn here, but we're just not getting that push. This Dixie's a problem. It's still pumping, guys. It's pushing through that trend. I'm looking at it now. Well, I mean, we need things to fall in line here for us quite quickly.
Definitely.
Okay, what else you got in there?
The other one I'm looking at, just because I never really look at Curve too often, is Curve. So obviously I pulled a fib tool from the low. I actually stopped it on this wick because I could have stopped it here, but I took it right to that wick, even though it was a wick and it wasn't like kind of the final part of the move. I still stopped it there, and we're actually sitting at the 786 right now. So if I take away that completely, I mean, 𝗨𝗪𝗪𝗪's given me huge confluence here. We've obviously entered the cloud previously at the top. We made our way down. We had a short just here. We had a TP1. We've had a TP2. We've actually kept going. Now, when you get a third TP, a third cross, you can imagine that's kind of a really very, very strong indicator that you're going to get a reversal. There's only ever normally a maximum of 3 on any one move. So this is the move, is the short. We look like we might be getting a third here, which was, as I say, coincide with being in the cloud. I guess it will coincide with this small turn down we've got in the RSI finishing up its move, something like that. And along with that, the cash flow, I guess, which is now flowing out again, I guess will also come to a point somewhere there before we get a push up. And I would imagine that there's a curve long on the 4 hour somewhere in the region of, I suppose it wouldn't be hard to imagine the 387 region, which is obviously this previous low, Dill. So although we're at the 786 right now, it doesn't look that strong, hey? It looks like it's on a bit of a
It doesn't look great, but a lot of these stocks are, again, a lot of them are oversold. The 4 hours near the top. It's quite interesting, guys. I mean, that 4 hour stocks move near the top, and curve is just looking like absolutely. But again, that's a level where you could maybe have a sneaky buy if we do get that little wick lower. So it is something to look at.
Yeah, look at this. Even the 8 hour, we made our way right down to 5 on the RSI. And you know what? It's not done. Look at this. It was going up. It's already leveled out. You know, I mean, I would have thought that this move that I'm talking about here would probably translate to this resetting again, maybe right the way down here, you know? It just looks like cash is violently flowing out. I mean, this is cash flow. It was kind of level. And then look at that.
I mean, Curve's got problems.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of issue there with Curve, and guys, I mean, the fundamental guys know better than I do. But we know there's been a few headaches there. So
Sure. Lots of
quick
hacks.
recovery, but also quick sell-offs quite easy.
Definitely. And yeah, that's what I'm looking at today. So I'm looking at a curve long and an AVAX long, but I don't think either of them are quite ready yet.
Okay, guys, Lux Algo in the link, in the description. There's a link for Lux Algo, 30% off. First month is free, right?
The first month you got to pay for, but there's a 30-day refund, so you can, day 29, you can just go, you know what, it's not for me, you get your money back.
Okay, got it. Shot.
Cool, man.
Okay, guys, I've got a nice selection here from the chats. I've got BLZ, I've got GRT, I've got Near. David's going to give us
Loom.
Loom. Give us Loom.
Look at DYDX, guys. I just saw that from the chat. Look at that. That's gearing up. I'll let somebody else take that because I'm going to jump off in a minute, but that's gearing up for a nice long there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The things are pointing like we should get that thing, that reversal. But like if you look at that cloud, Simon, we could easily drop another 5% here.
Let's have a real quick look. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's drop in the
Dave,
settings.
I've pulled up your screen. It looks quite trippy here. A lot going on.
Oh, my one. Oh, Dave's one. All right, cool.
So yeah, guys, I'll just cut straight to the chase with Loom. This is what I saw last night before going to bed. You know, I've been following this parallel channel that's forming, and I drew this potential setup, and that's what I encourage you guys to do as you start to get more advanced in trading is try to see things playing out way into the future. And you know, I woke up to seeing my alarm went off. I missed the trade, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. But it was pretty much spot on. You could see that this trend line literally to the T hit. So this is the trend line I'm following. If you guys want to copy this trend line, the top wick here is at from Friday, October 6th. We got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and this is giving me deja vu vibes with 𝗲𝗏𝗕𝗄. Like we would follow this for weeks. I'm feeling the same thing. You know, Binance just listed it. More people are getting involved. You can, I guess Binance listed it because now you can trade futures with it, which explains the big pump. I know that the funding rates are ridiculous. So here's what I'm looking at, right? So essentially we want to trade this trend or this parallel channel. If we can see a spike back up here, hopefully it happens while I'm awake. But this would be an amazing entry. Keep in mind too that there might be some deviation play as well. So we might see some move up like this, fake out, and we come back inside, which we saw on 𝗲𝗏𝗕𝗄, and we come back down here, right? So the next play, and what I have my eyes on is, you know, once we get towards the bottom of this channel here. So we write it down, we write it up, you know, that's my strategy. Ultimately, if we can get down here, I would say start setting some alerts and we can do it together. And ideally, so we had this fake out yesterday, right? Like it was about to break down. I'm sure there was a lot of trapped shorts, and then they sent it right back up. So back inside, this is where I'm drawing my trend line from the bottom here to the very top. We have a 618 region here that ties in with an order block. So a sniper zone with an order block. It might stop here, but I would say let's set our alerts you know, at this order block here. I think that's safe, and it might be a wick. It might be just a red wick, and it gets bought back up. So you guys got to keep your eyes on this one. It's instantaneous with these wicks. Like seconds. If you're not staring at your screen, you're going to miss the trade, and this is exactly what happened to me here. But I'm sitting here, a long alert with you guys at 20 cents, and ultimately that's where we might enter like a small position, and then if it wicks down a little bit lower here, like down here or something like that, add to your position, and then the move would basically be, you know, like one of those, another 20% move. So this thing has been pumping 20%, dumping. How big was this dump here? Like, this was ridiculous seeing this 20%. So it's like 20% up, 20% down, 20% up, 20% down. So high risk token, I'd recommend small leverage, but it's kind of being predictable with this parallel channel. Ultimately, in the next few weeks, I think Luna is going to lose its steam. That's typically what happens once it gets listed on Binance and the futures. You can trade futures or whatever. It loses its hype, and it's probably going to look like 𝗲𝗏, right? As soon as we lose that trend, keep an eye, because you can even see it's like clockwork. It loses the trend, and what does it do? It tries to touch the trend, and then it falls. Like it's the same story over and over and over again. So I've got my eyes on this one. I hope to play this up and down, and as we lose the channel and we go back down. So awesome token. I did take that wild long here with you guys. Or I have it right here actually. Yeah, I took the long right here. We're in the sniper zone, but I am ready to add more down here at this order block. So that is an active trade I took right now. It was nice to see Link. We talked about this on the show yesterday. Like I was even saying, guys, it looks like this is it. This is the short. So not too crazy of a move, little scout move, but we could see lower if Bitcoin doesn't behave here. And then, yeah, GALA looked awesome. You know, a little stop hunt, double bottom. Dylan talked about it. Looks great. But here's another one I'm looking at, YGG. Was watching it this past weekend. We have this order block it keeps rejecting from. So if you guys don't have Lux Algo, set an alert at 0.2564. Okay. Short alert, short area, and let's set another one at the top of the order block. You can see we have 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3 wicks. There's a chance that it's probably going to hit that again. And in my opinion, I think it's going to stop here because it's proven itself that it's rejecting here. There's another wick right here. So it kind of ties in, you know, wick, 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 wick. So that's what I'd like to see. And, you know, we may fall over, I don't know, but for me, I'm very picky with my entries, and this would be a beautiful entry, guys. And be aware, there could be, you know, the deviation play where it will go to the order block, couple percent up, and come back inside and then reject. But here's what's amazing about YGG is it's following a trend line. And let me see how far it's going back. Yeah, right here. So if you guys are charting YGG, the 9th of June, there's a wick here. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty spot on. Like it tries to go down, but it gets bought back up. And it's like maintaining this trend. Like there's a wick to the T here on the trend. Now we've got an order block here. And I was watching this yesterday. Like I was like, is it going to break the trend and go down? But it didn't. It literally held the trend, popped back up. So if any of you guys have been following YGG and you guys are in a long right now, I would say very simply take a fib from the top. And if this is the absolute bottom, this could be a take profit one right here. But ultimately, this order block is where you're going to want to take your profits, in which you could switch to a short. So write it up, write it down.
You're going to drop that in the Discord, eh?
Yeah, I can drop it in the Discord for you guys. Arbitrum, falling wedge pattern. Okay, I posted in the Discord. It looked like it was trying to break out. Came right back inside. But what's interesting is that it's following this trend line from the low, September 11th, where apparently this was when a big whale capitulated and just dropped his big bag. You can see it got bought back up, sent back down. So, you know, it did a round trip. I think I called the short here like a week and a half ago, and it just, you know, we got stopped out or whatever. But it's crazy to see it do a round trip, and it's back inside here. But interestingly enough, it's holding this little trend here, and I believe there is an order block right here at this, you know, 0.78, 0.78 region. So in my opinion, I think it's close to breaking out. It might go a little bit lower. It might come down here and then finally break out. But either way, Arbitrum's going to have its breakout, in my opinion. So I've got my eyes on that. And then to finish off here, somebody requested Pendle. I've actually watched this as a spot token, and it looks like an amazing buy. If we go back to the 17th of August, we have a trend line that's forming a touch, third touch. And if you guys are holding it short term, trying to do a spot trade, from the top to the bottom here is where I drew this fib here, where you can see. So it kind of lines up with an order block here. So from where we are now, if it holds the trend, and it might take some time, right? It might do one of these deals and then breaks out, right? So it might take some time. How many days is that? 14, 15, 16, you know, it might take 4 or 5 days to play out. But, you know, if we bought here right now, you know, nice little gain here, 20%, maybe all the way up to the top with 30%, or higher, right? And you can see there's a bigger one up here at $1, and I've heard nothing but good things about this token. So ultimately, you know, from where we are now to this big order block, 68% move, and that really depends on Bitcoin and the market and everything like that. But those are my 2 cents on Pendle. Also, if we look at the RSIs, it's bottomed out on the 12, the 8, the 4, yeah, and the dailies bottomed out. Yeah, so spot token, hey, it looks good to me. And then,
okay, guys, nice. Pendles, there's been good things about Pendle. Yeah, I've heard good things. It was one of the topics. I think Maple Finance was on the list as well. They were talking about Pendle, a whole lot of things, and they all look like decent buys. Guys, let's get straight into some of these requests from the crowd here.
let's do it.
I've got Storage. I still don't know how to say this. 𝗕𝗏𝗕𝗄. We're losing trend, guys. This is the last dance for 𝗕𝗏𝗕𝗄. We want it to hold like all these we're looking at, guys. They're all sitting on these levels. It's no coincidence. They're waiting for something to happen here. So yeah, the guys, trend lost. We are on our final support. We start losing this, we are coming down. 200-day, 50-day, horizontal. There's a lot happening down in this region down here. Could happily come and visit this. So just exercise caution. You know, when we start losing trends, you start leaning to the bear side, and you need these things to regain these trends quite quickly to turn bullish. So just look out for something along those lines if it does move up. Yeah, not super bullish here on too much stuff yet. We really want to see a nice reaction on BTC, but they are talking to us. They're sitting on levels. They're sitting on good areas. There are signs. You've seen 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 starting to talk to us that like longs are brewing. Things like that are happening, but don't discount one more whip down potentially. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Another one we had was 𝗕𝗏. 𝗕𝗏 looks pretty done to me. Let us know, guys, in the chats, the fundamental guys in the chats, please tell us what's going on with 𝗕𝗏. It's been bleeding out forever, basically. We're on our way to levels last seen in December 2020, guys. Okay, it's looking absolutely horrific. 0.927 is an area that is now looking interesting. So 𝗕𝗏 needs to reclaim this level very quickly and do it quite decisively. You want to see it push up and then start moving on here. This is huge now from here. This could be a mega short opportunity. When you see selling like this, guys, you need to let us know. Is this 𝗕𝗏 project still happening? Is it still a thing? Because it's looking very sad. It's looking worse than a lot of these altcoins that we look at. Garrett says Waves is popping. Waves is the Russian-Ukraine war, the war token that always pumps. We'll look at that just now. The other one, BLZ, David did touch on BLZ. We want to chase the trades and the tokens that are pumping. And like David said, guys, Loom seems to be the flavor of the month. BLZ's lost its vibe. So maybe there's a bounce coming for BLZ at best, but I think you want to chase the hot tokens. And David's researched that really well, and he's explained it really nicely that Loom might be the one to really focus on. Just as a note, BLZ is on the 618, so you might see something along these lines to trend, but look out at this horizontal and trend. That could be a resistance zone. If we do get a pop You've got the 50-day that could give you a reaction there as well. So just look out for that. But yeah, BLZ is on a 618. It is forming some support on the 8-hour. So there could be something happening. Next level lower down, 0.085, 786, horizontal, 200-day MA. So that could be a really nice area too if there's a move lower. Mark says Near is nearly broke. Maybe they are nearly out of money. November. Unibot, yeah, we can look at that. Okay, Ocean was a request, guys. So this was a request I got in the chat yesterday. So after the show, in the chat, leave a list of tokens you want. We'll prep them all for you. We won't make assumptions. We'll use your tokens and we'll get them for you. Okay, so Ocean, you can see what's going on here. Lots of lower highs here all day long. It's starting to melt down. It's starting to look like BNB. On the weekly, it's starting to look like the old FTX, you know, this massive trend down where we start squeezing lower. And that sort of becomes the feel of what I'm looking at here for Ocean, unless there's a reversal quite soon. Not saying that you can't get lovely bounces and lovely trades in between. So that's the bigger picture. But if we zoom in, there's probably quite a few decent bounce plays and decent trades here on Ocean. So let's look at this, for example. This is a support cluster here. You can see it's forming now, but moves up. It's still, for example, to this 50-day MA and trend, it's a 15% move from this low. So there's lots of trades within this potential downside move coming on Ocean. Yeah, for now, I'd say look for buys or bounces at 0.27. If we start losing areas, then you're looking at these wicks. My trading view is just a little bit slow here for some reason. You're looking at these levels here, lower down. I'd say if you want to be long here, your opportunity was at that region there, and you want to look for something along those lines. So right now it's a little bit high. Your upside, I would say, is at best this 50-day MA from where it is now. So look, it's not the worst. It's 8%, but your risk going down below that stop, for example, is about 5%. Okay, so just bear that in mind. You want to get it tight. You want to get it deep at the bottom there, guys. Okay, guys, I owe you gold. I owe you NVIDIA that I said I was going to do. And let's do a quick update on the 𝗕𝗓𝗕 as well. 𝗕𝗓𝗕 might be topping out. This is the 15 minutes. So let's just zoom out again, bigger picture, and see what's going on. So we're pushing into trend. Okay, so we got that little bounce. We lost trend. So you know what we love in this place, guys. We love the loss of trend, the retest, and then we like to send it lower. So that's what we were looking for on the 𝗕𝗓𝗕. So let's hopefully, that is now a sign the 𝗕𝗓𝗕 may be reversing. This is really what we want. Let's look at this trade. See, it's rejected here nicely now. So this is the short on the dollar. It's long on the ZAR. So heading down, that should work out nicely now with this 𝗕𝗓𝗕 rejection. If it carries on rejecting, I think that should move quite quickly. So you can do these on Prime XBT, guys. Simon says, tickle that like button. Okay, NVIDIA. So I actually saw earlier, Gareth Soloway was also looking at this one. It was all this FUD. NVIDIA pumped on this AI and all their stuff. Remember that? It was a couple of weeks ago. This is the weekly chart we're looking at. This thing absolutely ripped. Then there was FUD, like the one of the main shareholders was dumping a lot of his stock, that sort of thing, and they were very bearish about it. But it seems to be picking up again. So just out of interest, targets that hit and what NVIDIA likes, it's respecting this 1618, which was a trend extension, a fib extension from this pool here, and you see how beautifully that hit there at trend. Okay, so if we zoom out, we can take a look at this trend here. We've got this major trend all the way back from October 18, and look how it's pinged that 618 and trend beautifully. So that's a potential top at the moment for NVIDIA. We do have a target higher up if it wants to go higher. We've got this 2618 now teed up over here. So there's a potential 730 on the table if it does break higher, but I am seeing a potential head and shoulders for me on the daily. So let's take a look at this. So guys, stocks I generally zoom out and look on the weekly time frame because they're trading 8 hours a day, basically Monday to Friday. That's probably the equivalent of what our 4-hour crypto candles, or 3-hour crypto candles, or whatever. So that's why I like to look in the weekly. There is this possible head and shoulders situation on the video, so you want to watch this closely now. You might be getting a rejection soon. So the bears could potentially start looking for targets here at a rejection area, anything up to say 490 region. You could a potential rejection, and support areas that you need to note on the video. We got some horizontals here. Remember, these are daily, so they are pretty strong. Okay, we've got this 400 level to watch, and then we've got this massive gap here. Look at this. So we've got this 382 and this high over here filling this gap. But you know, some of these stocks, they want to fill these gaps. So look out for these areas here, guys. This whole region is interesting. We've got the 200-day MA coming in here that might give it something. But yeah, this is a big area here, this gap from 370 down to call it 320. It's quite an interesting zone. They might want to come and close that area first. So eyes on the video. First stop, if it reverses, first stop is the 410 region, and you'd look for something like that, and then you'd possibly send it down lower to that region there. Okay, but upside targets, if this thing keeps pumping, you saw that 730. That is quite interesting. Norin wants to look at coin. Yeah, let's do coin. We looked at that recently. That thing tracks BTC very well. And then we've got gold. We've got that gold rejection, which rejected with that Dixie. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we're still on track, guys, with coin. It's gonna listen to BTC. You can see if you guys zoom out on the BTC chart, it looks pretty much the same. I mean, we've got this rising trend on BTC. We've broken this trend. So yeah, play coin the way you play BTC. If you bullish BTC, you want to be bullish coin. If you bearish BTC, well, maybe then you should exit your coin stocks, because if BTC falls over, it's potentially gonna come down with it. Sam says it's gonna fly. What's gonna fly, Sam? Let us know.
NVIDIA,
Tom
maybe.
AVAX, yeah. Tom says AVAX might be on its way. Wild is pumping. Okay, guys, going well so far. Okay, let's see. WLD, little bounce there. Okay, just watch your level. That's your marker now, guys. That's 1.446. That's your candle low to keep your eyes on.
Sam wanted comp.
NVIDIA has reached all-time high. 𝗬𝗓𝗄 says Cisco has not gone past all-time high for 30 years. Wow. Okay. So cool, guys. So WLD's on the move. Let's just close on gold quickly. We got this reaction now. So guys, remember, Dixie starts pumping, then things like gold potentially start rejecting, and this is what we saw here. So gold is now rejected at this target 1.885. And you can see why this was a nice target. These things are really quite easy to spot, guys. It's not too much science. We joke that it's science, but it's not really science, guys. We just dudes drawing lines on a chart. But yeah. This is a reaction line, 1885. You can see why it rejected. So if you want to be long gold, you need to just let it settle down. Watch that Dixie, eyes on the Dixie, and look. Still, I like this 1860. Still a region for me where you could add onto your gold position, because as long as the story in the Middle East is continuing, gold might be favored again for the next coming while. And the same goes for oil. Yeah. If you look at oil over here, what did they do? They gapped up. I mean, look how beautiful this is. They gapped up. They came back, closed the gap. So now a lot of guys are longing here. Okay, this region, US oil, 82.6. They wait for this gap to close, and then you get a long there. Okay, your support would be your 82.6, that candle, or just underneath that previous low at 81.4. That's US oil, WTI, and you can trade that and Brent on Prime XBT. You could send your crypto to it. and they give you 1,000x leverage or something ridiculous. Obviously, you don't really want to do the actual full account 1,000x. You'll get absolutely wrecked if that thing sneezes. But remember, these are slow movers, so you use a little bit of margin, but it gives you a decent sized position, and then then you can go. Okay, so 𝗕𝗏𝗊𝗇 says green Lux algo on WLD. So let's just zoom in on that quickly. Pull up this Lux algo situation. Okay, so not yet on the 4 hour. Let's see on the 1 hour. Yeah, we've got an X there. Let's just get the settings right. Okay, so printed an X. Maybe she's watching the 50 minutes. And yeah, games for a living unlock, guys. Coming up. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this wild's looking good in this cloud, guys. You saw the levels, you know the risks, obviously. You saw them buy that up over there. Watch this area closely. It doesn't mean it can't come down lower, but decent start that it started moving there. Fahad's in the house.
What's up, Fahad?
Fahad, what's going on? Which MA indicator is used on these charts? Says Diamond D. I use the 50-day MA, the 200-day MA, the 200-week MA I quite like, and occasionally I use this one here. This is the 200 on the 4 hour. I sometimes use that as a guide as well. You can see that's a resistance area there for WLD. Okay, cool. Guys, let's get Filecoin going. And remember, guys, one more time, drop your tokens, drop your stocks in the chat after the show, so then we can prepare for you for tomorrow. Okay, File. Did Fahad ask for this Filecoin? I think he did. 618. File's been really disappointing. It's just not giving the moves we want. But I have experienced the Filecoin move, and it's a thing of beauty. And it's something you don't want to miss out on. So if you do get an opportunity to get File in a good area, I'd normally suggest you do, because this thing can motor. So look, Fahad 618 supports. Okay, area to watch. I think if this Dixie rejects now nicely, and BTC starts pushing, let's see. Look, it's still hanging. We really want to see it push up here. Let's look at dominance, USDT dominance, guys. It still wants to break out, so we're in danger. Okay? We're not out of the woods. We want this rejection. We want this big rejection. This is USDT dominance. We want it to reverse. This is BTC dominance. At least it's turning over a little bit for us. This is dominance 1 hour. We want to keep it sending. We want to keep sending this thing lower. So these altcoins can just survive a little bit in these areas. Okay, guys, I think we need to cut it.
Yep.
Thank you again, Bruce, Dave. I mean, there was so much content there, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, good luck out there. Again, we're watching the same BTC levels once again. Things have been a little bit slow out there, but WLD looks decent. A lot of these alts, good supports, guys. I think we're going to be okay on some of these. Dave, anything?
No, let's watch the charts, set your alerts, pay attention to the alerts, and just always progress your trading. So
cool.
Bruce, wise words for the day.
Well, not wise, but for those of you that are in school and on Discord, we're going to be hosting a live scalping session in exactly an hour and a half.
Oh, nice.
Once again,
that's going to be fun. Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Okay,
hopefully,
so
if the market behaves.
Yeah, well, good luck. I mean, that's always fun. You're going to learn a lot there, guys. Okay, see you later. Thanks, everybody.